My ex-wife forged a paternity claim to ruin me, but she forgot one detail that put her in handcuffs. The sheriff didn't knock. He pounded. I opened the door, coffee in hand, and had a thick envelope shoved into my chest. "Dominic Torres?" he barked. "You've been served." He turned and walked away before I could even blink. I looked down at the paperwork. Superior Court of California, summons. Child support arrears, $48,000. My coffee mug hit the floor, shattered. 48 grand, due immediately, for a child I had never met, never seen, and absolutely never fathered. I scanned the document, my heart hammering against my ribs like a trapped bird. The plaintiff, Lisa Vaughn, my ex-wife, the woman who, 5 years ago, told me to my face that she would rather die than get stretch marks, and walked out of our marriage because I worked too much. Now, she was claiming I was the father of a 2-year-old boy named Leo. And she wasn't just asking for money, she was asking for retroactive support. She was claiming I had hidden, fled, and abandoned her. The court date was in 7 days. 7 days. That wasn't a deadline, it was an execution. Lisa knew exactly what she was doing. In this state, if you don't contest a paternity claim within a tiny window, the court enters a default judgment. You become the legal father, forever. It doesn't matter if you're sterile. It doesn't matter if the kid is a different race. If you miss the deadline, you pay until the kid is 18. She timed it perfectly. She wanted me to panic. She wanted me to cut a check just to make it stop. I grabbed my phone, my fingers trembling with a mix of adrenaline and pure white-hot rage. I didn't call her. That's what she wanted. She wanted me to scream at her so she could record it and play it for a judge. "See, Your Honor, he's unstable." No. I dialed Mark, the shark who handled my divorce. "Mark, she did it." "Who? Lisa?" Mark's voice was instant gravel. "What did she file?" "Paternity. She wants 50 grand in back pay. She says I'm the dad of a 2-year-old. Send me the docket number now." Mark didn't waste breath on sympathy. "Dominic, listen to me. Do not text her. Do not post on social media. Do not drive by her house. She is baiting you." "She's lying, Mark. I haven't touched her in 5 years." "I know, but the law doesn't care about truth yet. It cares about procedure. We have 1 week to stop the state from freezing your bank accounts. Get to my office. Bring every financial record you have." Mark's office smelled like stale coffee and expensive leather. He threw the file on the desk. "It's a shakedown," he said, point blank. "She's broke." "How do you know?" "Because she's not using a private attorney. She filed through the county enforcement agency. That means she can't afford a retainer. She's desperate, and desperate people are dangerous." He tapped the paper. "Here's the hook. She has sworn affidavits. 2 witnesses, probably her drinking buddies, who claim they saw you holding the baby at a park in 2022. They claim you verbally agreed to pay her cash under the table to keep it quiet." "That is insanity," I snapped, standing up. "I was in London in 2022 for the merger. I have passport stamps." "Good, we'll use that," Mark said. "But the affidavits allow her to ask for an emergency temporary order. She wants the judge to garnish your wages before the DNA test is done." "Can she do that? If she cries hard enough, yes. Judges hate deadbeat dads. She's going to paint you as a monster who abandoned a starving child. If the judge buys it, you pay until the test clears you. That could take 6 months. I'm not giving her a cent." "Then we go on the offensive," Mark said, his eyes narrowing. "We don't just deny, we demand a stat DNA test, court-ordered, rush processing, and we file a motion for sanctions immediately." "Do it," I said. "I want to see her face when the needle goes in." The courtroom was a meat grinder. Dozens of people, crying babies, overworked clerks. And there she was, Lisa. She wasn't wearing her usual designer gear. No Gucci, no Prada. She was wearing a faded sweater and flats, no makeup, hair in a messy bun. She looked tired, small, and pathetic. It was a brilliant performance. She spotted me. For a split second, the mask slipped. A smirk, sharp and cold, cut across her face. Then, instantly, she was the grieving victim again, dabbing her eyes with a tissue. "Docket number 4402, Vaughn versus Torres," the bailiff bellowed. We walked up. The judge, a woman named Harrison, who looked like she ate nails for breakfast, peered over her glasses. "Ms. Vaughn," Judge Harrison said, "you are requesting emergency arrears? $48,000? "Yes, Your Honor," Lisa's lawyer, a public defender who looked exhausted, said. "My client is facing eviction. Mr. Torres has immense wealth. He abandoned this child 2 years ago after promising support. We need an immediate order to secure housing for the minor." Mark stepped up. "Your Honor, this is a fabrication. Mr. Torres was out of the country during the alleged conception window and the alleged meeting in the park. We have passport stamps to prove it. We vehemently deny paternity. Lisa let out a sob, a loud, wet sob. "He's lying," she cried out, her voice cracking. "He told me he wanted to be a father. He held Leo. He looked me in the eye and promised." The judge looked at me. I kept my face stone. "Mr. Torres," the judge said, "are you willing to submit to a genetic marker test today?" "I'm demanding it, Your Honor," I said. "Right now. I'll pay for the rush fee." Lisa stiffened. She hadn't expected me to pay for the rush. She thought the system would drag it out for weeks, giving her time to get a temporary check. "The court orders a stat test." Judge Harrison banged the gavel. "Both parties to the lab on the 3rd floor. We will reconvene in 10 days for results. However," she paused, looking at me. "Mr. Torres, if this test comes back positive, I will double the arrears for wasting the court's time." "I understand," I said. As we walked out, Lisa brushed past me. She leaned in, her voice a low hiss, completely different from the crying woman inside. "You should have just settled, Dom. Now I'm going to ruin you." "Save it for the jury, Lisa," I shot back. The investigation started the second we left the court. Mark put his best investigator on Lisa. We needed to know why now. Why, after 2 years, did she suddenly need a dad for this kid? 3 days later, Mark called me. "We found something." "What?" "Lisa's bank records. We subpoenaed them to disprove her poverty claim. Dominic, she was getting deposits, regular ones, $2,500 a month." "From who?" "A guy named Brad Miller, local contractor. The payment started right after the kid was born and stopped, wait for it, 2 months ago." She was double dipping, I realized. She was milking this guy, he stopped paying, so she came after me. "It gets better," Mark said. "I found Brad Miller. He's living in a motel on the edge of town. He lost his house. I'm going to see him." "Dominic, let me handle—" "No, I need to look him in the eye." I found Brad in the parking lot of the Motel 6. He was sitting on the tailgate of a beat-up Ford F-150, smoking a cigarette like it was his last meal. He looked wrecked, bags under his eyes, clothes covered in drywall dust. "Brad Miller?" He jumped, dropping the cigarette. "Who are you? Did Lisa send you?" "No, Lisa is suing me. She claims I'm the father of her son." Brad's jaw dropped. He actually laughed, a bitter, broken sound. That woman, she told me I was the father. I figured. I paid her everything," Brad said, standing up. He was a big guy, but he looked defeated. "Every dime I made, I sold my boat. I refinanced my truck. She said she needed it for Leo's medical bills. She said the kid had asthma, allergies, special needs. Does he?" "I don't know. She never let me go to the doctor with her. She just sent me bills." Brad kicked his tire. "Then I hurt my back. Couldn't work for 3 months. The check stopped. And guess what? She blocked my number. Told me if I didn't pay, I'd never see Leo again." "Did you take a DNA test?" I asked. Brad shook his head. "She wouldn't let me. She said it was insulting. She said if I loved her, I would trust her. I was stupid, man. I was in love." "You weren't stupid. You were conned," I said. "I have a court hearing on Friday. The DNA results come back. I need you there." "I can't," Brad backed away. "I can't afford a lawyer. I don't want trouble." "You're already in trouble, Brad. She bled you dry and tossed you aside. Do you want to know if that kid is yours or not?" He stopped. He looked down at his boots. "I love that boy, man. I haven't seen him in 8 weeks. It's killing me." "Then help me take her down. Come to court. Bring your bank statements. Bring the text where she threatens you." Brad took a deep breath. He looked at me, eyes hard. "What time?" Friday, the reckoning. The courtroom was fuller this time. Lisa looked confident. She was chatting with her lawyer, probably planning which purse to buy with my money. She had no idea the trap had already snapped shut. "All right," Judge Harrison said. "We are back on the record. I have the results of the genetic marker test for Mr. Torres." The room went silent. Lisa sat up straighter, clutching a rosary. A nice touch. The judge opened the envelope. She read it. She paused. She read it again. "The probability of paternity is 0.0%. Lisa gasped. A theatrical hand-over-mouth gasp. "No, that's impossible. The lab made a mistake." "The lab does not make mistakes on exclusions, Ms. Vaughn," the judge said, her tone freezing over. "Mr. Torres is not the father." But we were together." Lisa stood up, tears instantly flowing. "I don't understand, unless... She looked around wildly. "Oh God, there was a party. I was drinking. Maybe someone took advantage of me. If it's not Dominic, I must have been assaulted." I felt my blood boil. She was pivoting to a rape accusation to save her own skin. It was vile. Mark stood up. Your Honor, before Ms. Vaughn perjures herself further, we have a witness who can clarify the paternity timeline. Witness? The judge frowned. Who? Mr. Bradley Miller. Lisa froze. She turned around slowly. Brad stood up from the back bench. He was wearing a clean shirt and holding a stack of papers. He looked terrified, but he didn't look away from her. Mr. Miller? The judge asked. Step forward. Lisa made a noise like a dying engine. No, he's just a friend. I'm not a friend, Lisa, Brad said, his voice shaking. He walked to the front. Your Honor, she told me I was the father. I've been paying her child support for 2 years. The judge's eyebrows shot into her hairline. You have proof? Yes, ma'am. Brad slammed the bank statements on the desk. $32,000, and here are the text messages where she told me the kid was mine and that if I missed a payment, she'd tell the cops I was hitting her. The courtroom gasped. Judge Harrison picked up the papers. She flipped through them fast. Her face turned a deep, dangerous red. She looked at Lisa. Ms. Vaughn, did you collect money from Mr. Miller while claiming Mr. Torres was the father? Lisa was trembling, real trembling this time. I needed the money. Leo has needs. Neither of them was helping enough. Enough? The judge's voice was a whip crack. You defrauded Mr. Miller. You attempted to defraud Mr. Torres. You lied to this court. You filed a false affidavit. I'm a mother, Lisa shrieked. I did what I had to do. The system makes it impossible. The system isn't the problem. You are, the judge snapped. Bailiff! The bailiff moved in. Ms. Vaughn, I am holding you in direct contempt, and I am referring this case to the district attorney for charges of grand theft by deception and perjury. You can't arrest me, Lisa screamed, backing away. I have a child. Who's going to watch Leo? CPS is already en route to your sister's home, the judge said coldly. Take her. The bailiff grabbed Lisa's arm. She thrashed, knocking over a pitcher of water. Brad, tell them. We had a deal. Tell them. Brad looked at her, tears streaming down his face. We didn't have a deal, Lisa. You stole my life. They dragged her out. She was screaming obscenities at me, at Brad, at the judge. The door slammed, cutting off the noise. Silence. The judge took a long breath. She looked at Brad. Mr. Miller, I am ordering an emergency DNA test for you right now. If that boy is yours, we will sign an emergency custody order today. He will not go to foster care if you are his father. Brad nodded, wiping his eyes. Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Torres, the judge turned to me, dismissed with prejudice, and I'm sorry you had to go through this. The aftermath. I waited in the hallway while Brad took the test. We sat on a bench, neither of us saying much. You saved me, man, Brad said quietly. If you hadn't found me, I would have lost him. She would have kept him away forever. She played the odds, I said. She just bet on the wrong guys. The results came back 2 days later. Brad was the father. The court granted him full custody immediately. Lisa is currently in county jail, unable to make bail. Her fraud charges are piling up, turns out. We weren't the only ones she scammed. She had credit card fraud, loan fraud, the works. I saw Brad one last time in the parking lot. He was buckling Leo into a car seat. The kid looked happy. He looked like Brad. He's safe now, Brad said, shaking my hand. His grip was strong. She can't hurt him anymore. Take care of him, I said. I watched them drive off. I got into my car, the silence of the cabin feeling better than any music. My phone buzzed, a collect call from Lisa. I looked at the screen. I thought about answering. I thought about hearing her beg. I thought about telling her to rot. Instead, I pressed decline, then block. I started the engine and drove away, free.